special educational schools. Today I have attended a meeting for some parents, all parents that has special educational children, so they can note about these changes that will take place in the next few years. So these changes are not going to happen right now, but the plan is they will implement it in the next few years. But what's going to happen is the government are suggesting to put in a place more inclusion for schools to accept children with special educational needs. So what we're going to see in the next few years, that there will be money shared and funds to the schools to allow them to have more inclusion and to make the school more suitable place for children with special educational needs before they go to SEN schools or special schools. So some of the questions that those individuals were asked is about how are the schools monitored in terms of the funds. Are they going to go inside the schools? Are they going to see how these changes are being implemented? And the answers were no, the local authority will not be able to do that. It is not their job to see how the money has been used. However, there will be something called experts in hands, and experts in hands are going to be going to schools and offer help. So there will be a group of experts, let's say educational psychologists, speech therapists, and so on, that will be able to go and support children. So those children who are already with educational healthcare plan will retain their educational healthcare plan. So it's not going to be affected for the children that already have the plan. But in the future, in the next, let's say, 5 years coming, you will see that it's going to be a universal. Then they will move to targeted, then targeted plus, and if the case is severe, then they will be on an educational health care plan, the EHCP that you hear about. The government thinks that the school are able to manage this money and this funds well. So, who are going to be questioning these schools and how are the funds going to be used? It will always go back to Ofsted, as Ofsted is the responsible body who can go and inspect schools and question them on how the services are being delivered and whether the needs of the children are being met. In terms of other schools like academy schools or Catholic schools, these are run differently, so they have a different way of, Ofsted, they have a different way of managing them. So I don't know about these schools. I'm not going to go on those schools. I'm talking mainly about mainstream schools. And then the governs and the government body, they are going to be responsible for the health and safety, human resources, and the teaching and curriculum within schools. So if you have a problem and you go to speak to the governor in the school, they will be able to tackle these issues for you. And the question is now here as well, are these individuals that have been appointed to be the governor within the school, do they know enough? what's their background, do they get the job based on their expertise in schools? Not really. It's not necessarily the case. Some of them have different jobs and different expertise, not necessarily within education. The government also are going to, I don't know if I could say the word mandatory, but most of the teachers will have to be trained to be an SEN teacher as well. So these changes are going to happen in the future, where you will expect all the teaching staff in schools to be trained and able to acknowledge whether the child is special need and how to manage the children. Because right now, if you go to a mainstream school, the teacher might not necessarily know that your son or daughter is autistic, for example. They might not know how to deal with it. So then they send those children that sometimes will show and present behavior difficulties to the SENCO, and then the SENCO get the support and the funds and so on. But in the next few years, you will see that these teachers and TAs and the staff generally within the school will have more training to be equipped and knowledgeable of special educational children. Let me know your thoughts about the reform and those things that are going to take place in the next few years. I have asked about after-school clubs for special schools and whether they're going to help and support with that, and they said that's not their place to do so because it's up to the school to provide after-school activities and after-school clubs. And if, let's say, a mainstream school offer an after-school club, whether it was a music class or a PE or anything, they cannot say no to a child with special needs. They should be able to cater as well for those children with needs. So if you're a parent that have a child that goes to a mainstream school and the after-school club say to you, no, your child cannot come to our after-school club, that's not within their rights. Your child should be able to access it, and you can discuss that with the school, and it is within their rights. However, special schools are not obliged to offer after-school activities, and that puts a lot of, obviously, pressure on parents or teachers, for example, that have children with needs, because they will need to take their children straight away after school. And as you know, most of special schools run between 9 to 3, so the ability of going to work from 8 to 4 is not really possible for most of the parents. Obviously, there's a big shortage for OT, speech therapy, educational psychologists within the whole country generally, but that's something that they will try to tackle by putting these experts in hands, going to every sort of like nursery, school, college, uni, and so on. So the SEN, the special educational needs, will move from local to national. So it's not going to be a local authority matter, it's going to be nationally moving towards that direction. Lots of things will change in the next few years. Be beneficial or not, I personally think, and here where I add my thoughts, I think that it will depends on how good the school is. So make sure you invest really well on finding the school that you hear, the best about, because schools, it's all depends to the school. They can meet the needs, they will be able to provide the needs, the teachers are good, the teachers are trained, all the services are all going to be from the school. So invest time in finding a good school, a lot of those challenges that you will face in the near future. Thank you for watching. Please put any questions here in the video once it's shared, and if I don't have the answer, I'm sure another parent will be able to help you.